What's up, duelists? MD here, and today I have a really awesome deck profile to show for you guys, and it's a deck that is very well becoming a real personal favorite of mine, and that is going to be Cyber Dragons. Now, I've somewhat kind of messed around with Cyber Dragons in the past, and they were an extremely fun deck, but they were also very inconsistent. But that is no longer the issue, because with Battles of Legend and Cybernetic Horizon, we've just gotten so many consistency boosters for this deck that it's honestly a really powerful contender now. I don't want to say it's going to be like tier 1 meta or anything like that, but it's a really powerful rogue deck. I dare say it's one of the best legacy decks now. And what legacy means is just like old school character decks that have gotten new support, for those who don't know about legacy. I'd say this is up there with even Blue Eyes as far as legacy decks goes now, so like it's really powerful. And I'm just gonna stop babbling and go straight to the deck profile. I'm just gonna kind of glance over the older cards here because I really want to focus on the newer ones. So of course we got our 3 copies of Cyber Dragon here, standard stuff, just like Jizukuru, just a kaiju to have that's searchable with Cyber Repair Plant, Cyber Latin, just nuke your, not even nuke, just clear your opponent's monster board. Got Galactic Soldier, another level 5 machine that can special summon. Again, amazing. Cyber Dragon Dre. It's essentially another copy of Cyber Dragon. So you have Cyber Dragon Core, arguably one of the best main deck monsters in this deck here. And I don't think, okay, yeah, I didn't miss any main deck monsters. So let's go with the newer stuff here, with Cyber Dragon Hers first. So I'm just going to read off its full effect here. This card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or graveyard, just like many other Cyber Dragon main deck monsters, which love that. And you can only use one of the following offensive Cyber Dragon Hearts per turn, and only once that turn. The first one you hardly ever use, but if this card is special summon, you can make this card become level 5 until the end of this turn. Also, you can't special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except machine monsters, which really isn't a problem. But the second one is the one you use more than anything. If this card is sent to your graveyard, you could add one other Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So, more than anything, you use that as it, and I accidentally delete it, whatever, no big deal. But what's really cool is that since he is Cyber Dragon while on the field, and he is 100 attack, he is also a machine duplication target. So we have 6 targets here for machine duplication, which is really awesome. In fact, let me add that back, that's gonna bug me. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know why I did that. Alright, and the other new main deck monster is going to be Cyber Dragon Veer or Bear. If I butcher up that pronunciation, forgive me. But same thing as hers and all the other ones, he becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field of the graveyard. If you normally special summon a Cyber Dragon monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon this from your hand in defense position, and you can only use that once per turn. Each Cyber Dragon you control gains 500 attack and defense. So, I tried this originally at 2. But I found that it was a little too pluggy, and you definitely don't want to run it at 3. At least that's my personal opinion. So I think 1's good. He's a level 4, and you can't really change his level unless this one's already on the field before you're supposed to normal summon Dre. But other than that, he's typically just Link material more than anything to help you make the Link monsters. Here and there, he can be useful for fusion, but it's really just Link material that I've used him for. He's pretty good for that. Like I said, 1's been doing good for me. 2, at least in my opinion, again, if you guys prefer 2, by all means. But 2 for me was just a little too much. And now let's get into our spell count. We have 3 copies of Instant Fusion, just to get out this adorable little Panzer Dragon there. So that's pretty standard right there. 1 copy of Photon Sanctuary. Now this is really cool with the card that we just got. When this Hyperstar or Hip Oceanigan, I think that's how you pronounce it. So yeah, this is essentially a 1 card of this. Though you do have to be a little bit careful because it can somewhat conflict. Because when you play this, you can only summon light monsters for the rest of the turn, which the majority of your deck is light, but some of your extra deck is dark. So again, it's not a conflict that's going to arise too often, but just know that it is a conflict that can arise. So just be a little bit wary of that. That's all. But other than that, it's been a fantastic card. This is another thing, like Veer, I tried this at multiple. I even tried this at 3 at one point. But the thing is with Cyber Dragons, you want to go second more than anything. And when I opened up with this card, I mean, half the time it helped, and half the time it just clogged up my hand from other cards that I could have used. So 1 copies weren't been working well for me. But if you want to bump this up to 2 or 3, that's perfectly fine. And I know I overpassed Overload Fusion, but it's just one of the basic machine fusion cards. Alright. Again, let me just go over the other stuff here, then I'll get to the newer stuff. So we have Pile of Desires here, Standard Regions, same thing with Upstart Goblin, Power Bond. I really wish that the Power Bond Searcher came in Cyberdyne Horizon. Granted, the Searcher we have isn't exactly great, but it's something. But Power Bond's still Power Bond for Cyber Dragons regardless. Still gotta run it. And Machine Dupe, especially now that we have 6 targets for it instead of just 3, which is amazing. Got 2 copies of Cyber Repair Plans. Now, I know a lot of people want to do like a 3/3 with Cyber Emergency, but I think this card is somewhat not as consistent because you have to have a Cyber Dragon engraved before you can activate it. So that's why only 2 of it, but that's just my opinion. If you guys want to do 3/3, that's perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong with that. And we have 2 copies of Twin Twisters. Just because it's not necessarily a bad thing to have to discard, because we have some cards here that we would not mind discarding at all. And now let's get to some of the newer stuff here. We have Cyber Emergency is going to be our first one. You could add 1 Light Machine monster that cannot be normal special summoned, which is this guy right here, or a Cyber Dragon monster from deck to your hand if the activation of this card in its owner's position was negated by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard. You can discard 1 card, add this card to your hand. You can only activate Cyber Emergency once per turn. So even if it's negated, you could still add it back to your hand, granted by pitching a card, but it's something. I like that. I like the fact that they at least give you something for when it's negated. And next up here is going to be Cyber Rev System. It's essentially a monster reborn for Cyber Dragon, except you can also special summon from hand, and that Cyber Dragon cannot be destroyed by card effects. So I think that's kind of cool. You really don't have to run 2 of these if you don't want to, because right now some of the Cyber Dragon cards are actually kind of pricey. Like they started off cheap, but people are starting to realize, hey, this is pretty good, so the Cyber Dragon cards are starting to shoot up a little bit in price. I don't know if they're going to stay that way or jump down, but in case it's a little too pricey for you guys, you could just do 1 Cyber Rev System, 1 Monster Reborn. That's perfectly fine. It really doesn't matter. I think in all my time playtesting, only once have I ever special summoned from hand with Cyber Rev System. So 1 Rev System, 1 Monster Reborn, it's perfectly fine. And I don't think I missed anything from the main deck, so let's go straight onto the extra deck here. Of course, we got our 2 Novas and 2 Infinities first of all, just because Infinity is amazing. It's arguably one of the best Xyz monsters. Definitely the best rank 6 in my opinion, without a doubt. And we got our Panther Dragons here that we're going to be our instant fusion targets. We have Constellar Pallades, just another way to bounce stuff, and also some more disruption against our opponents. So really, really cool to have there as well. Got Cleefort Genius here, one of the Link monsters we're going to be using. I'll talk about this one a little bit because even though it's not new, it's not one that a lot of people have mentioned much. This Link summon card is unaffected by spell and trap effects and the activated effects of other Link monsters, so it has some pretty interesting protection there. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up card on each player's field, except for the Cleefort Genius, and both their effects are negated until the end of this turn. And its other effect doesn't really apply because it really only happens in a Pendulum deck, so no need to worry about the final effect. And here's one of our newer Link monsters, Hip Oceanique, and they should have just kept Hyperstar. That English name, like, it's just a mouthful to me. And it just requires 2 light monsters, which is pretty cool. And all light monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense, and also dark monsters lose 400 attack and defense. So that's actually another way that it can somewhat conflict with the dark fusions here, but it's not that bad. And this card is destroyed by a battle card effect. You can target a light monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So it's essentially the same thing as the other generic Link monsters we've got in the past. And next up here is Cyber Dragon Sigir, or Sager. Yeah, my German pronunciations are not that good. I believe a lot of these names are German, and if I'm butchering up these names, I apologize. Now, this guy's pretty cool here. It requires 2 machine monsters, 1 of them including Cyber Dragon, so he's pretty easy to get up. And this card's name becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field or graveyard, so that's really, really awesome. During each battle phase, if this card is not declaring an attack, and it's during either battle phase, you can target one machine monster you control with 21 or more attack. For the rest of this turn, that monster gains 2100 attack and defense. Also, neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this card. You can only choose its effect of Cyber Dragon Sagir once per turn. So, really cool card. I only run one of him because since his name becomes Cyber Dragon in the graveyard as well, we have plenty of ways to revive him, and that's where the side arrow right here would come in handy. So I really like this card a lot, though I don't think you need more than one, just because you can revive him so many times. And let's see here. Yeah, I think that about does it for the newer stuff. From here, it's just going to be the Chimera Check Fortress Dragon, which is Cyber Dragon, and a machine monster from either side of the field. This guy right here can really break supposedly invincible boards. It requires a Cyber Dragon monster and 1+ monsters in the extra deck zone. Doesn't matter if it's yours or your opponent's. And this card gains 1200 for each one used, and this one gains 1000 for each one used. So that's how it goes there. And I also do have Cyber Twin and Cyber End Dragon here, just cause mainly for Power Bond to make this an 8000 that could pierce and a 58 that could attack twice. So that's really amazing. And of course, one copy of Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. And even though it's a level 5, it specifically says that fusion summoning this card can only be done with the above fusion materials, so instant fusion doesn't work for this guy. And he's just going to be one of your best ways to OTK your opponent, which I do have one of the replays I'm going to be showing you that there. So, yeah, that about does it for the Cyber Dragon deck profile here, guys. Now let's go into some of our replays. Let's replay. And let's go ahead and do it with Ancient Gears first. Now this is going to be one where I go first. Even though typically you want to go second with Cyber Dragons, this one shows you guys that going first is not the end of the world. There's still a pretty decent thing you can do going first. So, here. Right here, this is actually pretty much close to the best that you could do going first. Another thing you could do is have this be the Hyperstar, have one side Infinity, and have the other side Pleiades, but you have to have the perfect hand for that. Not to mention, it uses up your entire hand, so don't try to do that, guys. It's not a consistent thing to do. You can always at least, most of the time going first, at least make an Infinity, which isn't terrible. It's not terrible. But yeah, this was my hand going first. And I gotta say, for going for a Cyber Dragon, that's actually a pretty decent field. Got not only a negate here, but we have an attack booster as well. And I did fall for the Twin Twister bait, and he got the Regeki on me. That's perfectly fine. So I thought this choice was a little bit interesting for Ancient Gears, but it did the job for him. It did the job. But here's where things get fun. Gonna go for the Cyber Repair Plant, Cord, a special summon. And that's one of the rare times I actually used the level 5 effect for Cyber Dragon Hers. And let's go reviving Sagir, putting Core there. Not Core, Infinity. Butchered up names here. And we get so close to the OTK. So close, but not quite. So my opponent's just gonna go on and do his thing. Get that Ancient Gear Fusion, which I can't respond to because of Ancient Gear Fortress. It's a pretty cool card. Alright, and right there, I kind of thought a little bit ahead by going with the Cyber Dragon Infinity instead of the Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, which I thought a little too far ahead. I could have ended the game right then and there because that damage would have killed him for sure, so I am fully aware of that mistake I made, but it's perfectly fine because I just absorb his Golem with Infinity and we win from there. So, just so you guys know, I am aware of that mistake I made, but that was more to show you guys going first with Cyber Dragon. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. And now, I'm gonna show you guys what happens when you go second as you're supposed to. Swap. Now this is kind of like Memphis with some of the new Thunder Dragon support. I thought it was a pretty interesting deck for sure. And right here is where I thought things got interesting, because I thought just sitting on a Mega, okay, oh, but a 29 wall too. Not bad, not terrible. So we just go on with our play as regular. One thing I was a little surprised at is that he waited this long to activate his Omega. That did catch me a little bit off guard. So this right here is going to show off the OTK potential through not only Rampage Dragon, but the Sagir boost as well. Because even though you can't take damage from Sagir, you can still, your opponent can still take damage from the monster you boosted. So that's typically going second for Cyber Dragons. Just an OTK monster. And now I've got one more thing I want to show you. People want to say that the Goki mirror is chaotic and horrible. Oh lord, they have never experienced the Cyber Dragon mirror then, guys. Yeah, that's right. I am going to show you guys the Cyber Dragon mirror. And let me swap there because I just realized that's not me. As soon as I saw that foolish burial, nope, that's not me. So yeah, guys, the Cyber Dragon mirror is probably the most chaotic thing ever. And it's just gross. But yeah, I could take his own Cyber Dragon monster for his fusion material for this guy right here. And we make a pretty good board here. This is the board I was telling you guys before about the Cyber Dragon Infinity and the Pallades. Just as a lot of destruction for my opponent. But you're about to see right now why this just gets so disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, right here I just want to show you guys quickly. It says one Cyber Dragon monster and one plus monster from the monster zone. And both materials can be from either side. So he literally did not have to use a single one of his own cards to make that Chimera Mega Fleet Dragon. Which was just like... That's what I'm saying, like, Goki Mirror has got nothing with degeneracy compared to the Cyber Dragon Mirror. Like, it is just a free-for-all chaotic mess. That mirror. And luckily, since Pallades is not a machine, he couldn't use that for material, but he still did get out his Cyber Latin, which, for its about a turn, at least I thought that was going to hurt me, but then I had this guy here. So I was able to make my Nova to Infinity and absorb him, and yeah, he was doing nothing with those cards there. So that's how we got to win that mirror match there. So yeah, guys, this has been the Cyber Dragon deck profile and replay matches. Hopefully you guys got to see how really powerful this deck can be, and just like the boards it can create, the boards it can disrupt. Just yeah. Like I said, this is becoming a really high personal favorite deck of mine. And my personal opinion, it's going to be a little bit bold. I'm going to say this is up there with Blue Eyes as far as best legacy deck goes. So definitely try to pick up the stuff now, guys, because it's spiking up a little bit in price right now. It may go down. Again, may, because it is a little bit hype right now. Because once again, as I said before, it's not going to be like a high tier deck or anything, but it's definitely a very powerful rogue deck. So pick up the stuff if you're able to now. It's still spiking up a little bit in price, but I'm no expert at this, nor do I claim to be. It could very well all go down in price if it's overhyped. I can't say for sure, guys. Do not take my word for it. Once again, I'm not an expert at this. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And with that, I will catch you all duelists later. You all have a fantastic day.